So what I've got here is the code for the quiz. So we have our introduction block here. I can just grab it and just wriggle it around, and then we have our block for the quiz here. So what I'm going to do first is give the users an option to rerun the quiz, because that's the whole point of this. So if we want to rerun the quiz, I want to ask them, do they want to do the quiz again? And then give them the option to give an answer yes or no. So we need to ask a question. So I'm going to go to ask in the blue sensing blocks. Get a question. I'll zoom in a bit as well, so it's a little bit small. So just put this straight under where they get their score from. And I'm also going to get the answer little block, the little variable, so we'll need that as well. Okay, so my question is going to be, do you, get it right, do you want to try the quiz again? And I'm going to type Y or N to make it as easy as possible for them to give us a simple answer. So just like typing A, B or C for the answers to the questions. Then they've got an option again. So it's a conditional statement again. It's do they want to do the quiz? Yes, go and do the quiz. No, say goodbye and end the game. So if you can think, it's an if else, just like the questions here. So I'm going to go to control, find another if else block, pop it at the bottom. So what we need to do is if they say yes, then rerun the quiz, else say okay and then say bye. So I'm going to do a quick say no first. So the answer for no would be okay, bye. And that's the end of that. Now for the if then, we need to check what their answer has been to start with. So just like we did in the quiz, I'm going to use the equal sign, pop it in there, I'm going to put the answer. So that answer is either going to be Y or N. So if answer equals Y, then I want them to be able to rerun the quiz. Otherwise, I'm going to say okay, bye. Right, so with rerunning the quiz, I want to use something called a broadcast. So I basically want the program to send a message to say this person wants to play the quiz again. So broadcasts are in events, which are the slightly lighter yellow block here. And I want to broadcast a message. So broadcasting a message, when they say yes, I want to broadcast a message that says, new message, try again. So I'm giving it a name so I know that they're trying the quiz again. I also need a receive message. So when I receive, try again. So that's as far as I'm going to go now. Now what we need to do is I'm going to scroll back up to our other blocks. And what we need to do is simplify this in some ways, which is I'm going to take the quiz apart here. And so the quiz is standing alone. So when I press spacebar, I want to start the quiz. When I receive try again, I want to start the quiz. So I needed two different instances where I want to start the quiz. Now to make this as easy as possible, what I'm going to do is make the whole of this quiz code into a function or a subroutine. So to do this, I'm going to go to my blocks, which is the pink block here. I'm going to make a block and I'm going to call it quiz. And press OK. And now I have a define block, which means it's defining a function, and that is my program code for my quiz. So all of my quiz goes into define quiz. And now I can also say when the space key is pressed, do the quiz. But I can also say when I receive try again. Oops, so I need that for my blocks, do the quiz. So I have a couple of new blocks now. I've simplified this down but I've also got my complicated bit, the quiz, defined as a function over here. So I can call that at any time on this side. The only thing I haven't done is, if you see here, when we started the quiz, we had to set the points to 0. So when the quiz starts again, when they choose try again, I haven't got set points to 0 here or here. So I'm going to go back to my variables, which just happen to be on, and before I start the quiz again, I'm going to set my points variable to 0. So that means when I start the quiz, either when I press spacebar, like here, and start it from the start, or when I start the quiz on try again, and both times I will start with 0 points. The last thing you should do is, we're going to go to the large screen. I'm going to play the quiz to test that everything works. So let's run through it. So here's my instructions: typing A, B or C, press spacebar will be the next one. So press spacebar, it starts the quiz. I'm going to type my answers in. I'm just going to type A for everything to make it easy. So I got 1 question right, 1 question wrong. I scored 1 out of 2. Right, do I want to try the quiz again? So this is the new bit. So if I say yes, press enter, it should clear the points and then go through the quiz again. So the points are cleared up here, and it's starting the quiz again. That's great. So I know that that section is working. Okay, so it's going to ask me again, do I want to start the quiz? I'm going to say no, and this time it should say okay, bye, and it does. Lovely. So I know that those 2 different options that occur down here, the yes and no, are working, and also that these start blocks are both working as well. So that is great. So that's where I'm going to leave this. So that's my quiz, using functions as well, so you can recall the quiz. My challenge is now for you to make a longer quiz and also look at decorating your screens. So if you wanted to change the character, you could go to costumes and choose a different character from here. So if I go to choose costume, choose anything, I'm going to go to the animals because I like the animals. So instead of having the cat, I could have it as the bug, and I could get rid of those costumes there. So my bug could be running my quiz. Then if I go back to the code, so it's the same code. Because I've changed the costume, the code is still on the bug, so don't do anything other than change the costume, which is the costume tab here. Then I'm going to go to backdrops, and I'm going to see if I can find a backdrop that suits my bug. Oh, some nice flowers there. There we are. So my bug is going to be buzzing around on my flowers, and that just makes it look a little bit prettier. So I'm going to leave it at that. I will be back with another tutorial in Scratch, so have a go at this. If you manage to finish your quiz and get it working, please put a link in the comments below so we can check them out. Thanks, bye.